Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk in My Rooms. Today, I have a very special guest, Brittany from Petal Parties NJ, founder, and I am so excited for us to chat today and this is my first time too meeting Brittany, which is really exciting. We've met via social media, but like face to face on a call. So I'm so excited to have you today. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here too. It's fun to meet for the first time on a recorded line. Who knows what's going to happen?
And I wanted to have Brittany here in studio today, but with the timing of the episode, it didn't work out. But I'm sure you'll be on again and we can have you here in person for the next one. Again, thank you so much for taking time today. And if you can just tell everybody, introduce yourself, how you got your business started, and where they can find you.
Yeah, definitely. So Brittany Rodriguez, owner and founder of Petal Parties NJ. So it was a super organic way that I started this business. I unfortunately lost my full-time marketing career, corporate America, in June of 2024, which is just very typical for what's happening right now. I feel like everybody and anybody has lost their job in the last couple of months. And I wanted to go to a local bouquet making, arranging, wine tasting experience, but the tickets were so expensive, almost untouchably expensive. And it was sad for me. I grew up in flower shops. My grandpa owned a flower shop for 40 years in Whitestone, Queens. And I was not a summer camp kid, which is just like hilarious to say because all of my friends were like, yeah, no, like do not put Brittany outside to sweat. But so I used to spend my summers with my grandpa in the flower shop, in the coolers, spraying flowers. That's when people used to like spray with like aerosol cans, like actual paint flowers, which is just nuts to think about.
But you can really learn so much too doing that.
Yeah, totally. Most of it was don't get a lot of paint thinner on your fingers because it hurts. Because my mom used to kill me. I would come home covered in spray paint and like chlorophyll and everything and anything from the flower shop. But it was great. My grandpa taught me everything I knew. Like he was incredible. He managed the business, ran the business. He was the only florist. He had one employee who was a delivery person. And then I think he fired him eventually too, because he was like, I don't trust anybody to, manage my business. But it was the most fun experience growing up. And so when I wanted to attend this workshop, I was so saddened by the price, and obviously being unemployed, like fun kind of takes a back burner, especially when you have kids and the cost of everything. So just like was talking to my friends about how we could totally do this. Like, let's just have, wine at my house and I'll get flowers and we'll figure it out. So I did that and it was a hit. And I realized it's like this like access knowledge that I have in my brain from him, like just kind of talking through me. And I know everything about flowers. I know how to grow them. I know how to cut them. I know how to arrange them. I know their names, which is like just so random. My husband's like, how are you spitting out that information? Like, I don't know. It's just a part of my brain that opened up. So yeah, we started very small, baby showers, bridal showers. It works as like an activity to do at these parties where you don't want to play like bridal bingo once again. So we started like
fresh and new to do.
Right, exactly. Picture like a paint and sip, but with flowers.
I love that.
Yeah, and then we started doing like floral making classes. So teaching like the anatomy of a bouquet, like the kind of what makes up a bouquet. Why does a flower shop or why does the grocery store, even like Trader Joe's, make such a beautiful bouquet? Like what makes it up that it looks different than what you're doing at home, right?
So like that's so cool. Like already in my mind I'm thinking like that it's sick for people who are like, wanting to decorate their homes or businesses wanting to decorate their businesses to know how to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's fun, right? And it's not it's funny when I teach classes, I actually taught a homeschool class. And so it was like their art portion of their homeschool where they got to learn about flowers and bouquet making. And their parents were more judgmental than they were as kids. And it just like goes to show you like we have so much creativity, but like our inhibitions stop us from doing everything. So it's a light creative thing to do, right? There's nothing hard about it. We do so many moms' night outs. We do like a lot of fundraisers and stuff like that too. But I noticed like people wanted more of the workshops versus like the bouquet bars that we could provide at bridal showers or whatever may be. So we started doing a lot of that and more of that, and at restaurants, where we could kind of just set up really quick and people could eat and drink and be merry and make bouquets. And it kind of just took off from there. And we did a lot during the holidays. I know how to make wreaths, like handmade wreaths with fresh evergreens and pines. So I taught everybody how to do that, which was just so fun. But yeah, we've kind of just gone off from there.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
just to like kind of, I want to talk more about the business in a little bit, but to go trickle back to you losing your job and talking about that. How, like, what advice could you give somebody that, might be going through that right now or, is going through something similar? Maybe they didn't lose their job, but they're like not happy where they're at. They're not making a lot of money and it's, it's hard right now. And maybe they have something that they want to do, but they don't trust themselves to like step in and do it. Like, what's some
Mhm.
advice that you would give on that?
Definitely. So it's interesting. I'd say that you can spend some time every day applying for jobs because obviously I did, became ChatGPT's best friend. If there was a paid subscription, I should have got it the way I was like just using it constantly to rewrite my resume, rewrite cover letters. But what I'll say is I try to like block off my calendar each day to get things done because I found like my brain was like, you're playing pretend. None of this is real. It's not going to go anywhere. You're just cosplaying as like a business owner. But I wasn't. I was actually like making headway and talking to people and finding partnerships and creating these workshops. So what I'll say is definitely like stay on your path to like finding another job because your business will take off in the meantime, but it's not your end all be all. And I think that's what I struggled with more than anything. Like I was so tied to work. I've been working since 13. My mom was a single mom. So me and my sister always had jobs just like trying to help and also trying to like have money to go to the mall with friends. So what I did was like time blocking, and it's not like a hard thing. I know it's everybody kind of uses it in some way, but I would say like, all right, I'm going to do an hour applying for jobs on LinkedIn or Indeed, whatever it may be, maybe like talking to connections on LinkedIn, but I'm also going to spend an hour creating a website, right? And there are free website platforms that you can start right there. I'm going to spend an hour taking pictures. I'm going to spend an hour creating content at the wholesale distributor and just like walking through and talking to the people there. And I would block off my calendar every single day. And that really helped to move the needle, right? Because there was always a goal of the day and it helped me kind of cross the finish line to getting a business up and out.
I love that. And like that is amazing advice too, because sometimes it can feel overwhelming and we can just sometimes sit in one task all day and not get the rest of them done. So time batching, that's honestly, if you're not doing it out there, do it because it really is it does help and it's so life changing. But I love that you just kept at it even though you were like, I'm still gonna keep making my connections, I'm still gonna try to like apply for jobs, but I'm still gonna do this and I'm gonna still wear all the many hats that I'm gonna have to wear right now as being a new business owner. And you just you kept pushing through. But can you like share like more like your experience, like the because it's not easy, right, to like go through something like that. Like what was like what was that experience like for you to have to go through?
Sure. I mean, so I've worked in corporate marketing forever, since I was 22. I've been working in corporate America. And the writing was on the wall that things were kind of getting bad, but you never think like, oh, I'm just gonna like wake up and have an 8 a.m. meeting that says goodbye. Like that's exactly what happened. I was doing my daughter's hair for school and, they just kind of gave the axe to my whole team. And you feel like responsible for the people who report to you and guilty because health insurance and every other kind of bill that these people had to pay for. Thankfully my husband works and we have his health insurance, but it's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And every single day you're kind of like, well, how do we make sure that our kids are okay, they're healthy, they're happy, they're fed, they're all the things, keep the lights on, pay the bills, do the things, but also like have time to like have fun with them and not let them know that mommy is not well, like I was struggling every day. Like I tied so much again of my worth to like being a worker in corporate America. But I think through having like a project to do, it helped my mental state keep going. And I was also like sharpening my skills as a marketer, right? Like building a business, you are marketing yourself constantly, like throwing yourself out there. You're creating a social media platform, which like I worked in content marketing, but not the content marketing of today. Like I'm very much a writer. I write websites, I write blogs, I write advertisements. Getting in front of the camera was horrifying. I'm like, oh my God, my neck. Oh my God, my eyebrows. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. But it made me more comfortable. It made me more comfortable in front of people, more outgoing. And it was fun. It felt organic, and I had a lot of time to figure out where to take it. And I'm still kind of shifting. We're seeing less people wanting to do these kind of bouquet bars, and more people and more restaurants wanting to do workshops, which is perfect. I love doing workshops and talking to people and meeting more people and being able to kind of give this skill and in like aesthetically pleasing things to others. So it's interesting. I never thought that I'd be in that boat, but here we are, and I kind of have tried everything. I had my hand in writing a children's story that I was always drafting when I was up for hours in the middle of the night with my kids. I just kept trying things, and I'm still trying things, and I'm always busy, I'll say. And I like that. I'm not somebody to like be bored. I hate it.
Love that. And I like everything. I truly believe everything happens for us. So like you losing your job, that happened for you as much as it was hard at the time. Like there was a reason for you to now, because now it gave you that opportunity and time to do this. And then this could be your purpose, or this could be leading you into something else. Like you said, you wrote a book, like being able to keep being, doing the things that you like, you enjoy doing, but also helping, like you're saying, right. And pivoting. The fact that you pivot, that you weren't like, oh man, why aren't more people booking for those bridal showers and everything? But you're like, wait a second, the restaurants, or even the private right. workshops, like these are what is doing well. Let me lean in more on that, which is amazing. Because sometimes we have a hard time pivoting. Sometimes when you really like have an idea and you're like, oh man, why isn't it working? And you think that that's the way. Just trusting yourself and allowing yourself to pivot is really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I kept reading, it's only delusional until it works. It just was like, yep, here we go. Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Exactly.
And you keep iterating and fixing. And I still I have to fix our website, because I am going to pivot more towards it's great for team building, because everybody can do it. There's nothing hard about it. It's not an escape room where you want to kill your coworker trying
right.
to get out, right? No, it's fun.
Like, come on, find the pieces. Let's go. Yeah. It's like
right.
more relaxing and
Yeah, definitely. And we're planning more festivals now where people can get together and other vendors can come. Because I'd say that's been the biggest part of this, is that people are so open to work with you. Women who own other small businesses have been incredible, right? And we have so much fun together, and they're easy to work with. They're responsive. It's just been incredible. And so we started thinking how do we bring more attention to the actual business, but also have more fun with it and bring local businesses together. And that's what, I did. We did one on Valentine's Day. It was like a Gal and Pals shopping event, and that was super fun. We have something else coming up. I think the partnerships and the connections that I've made this whole time, incredible. Best part about losing my job.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. You start to put yourself out there more, network. Myself and my business partner, Nicole, we have a networking group, and we always tell the ladies, because it's a membership base now. And anytime they come, we're like, yeah, we have events separate, where we do events where everybody comes, but we have this thing called the social hour where each month we meet up, because the value of actually making those connections and hanging out and meeting and just getting to know each other more, it's huge. And then these people too, you're supporting their businesses, and we're all, like you said, women in business. It's truly amazing how much we all really can support each other, and when we do, how great things happen. So
definitely.
I love that. And now you started this business. When was your official let's go, let's do this? So what was your first booking? When was your first event?
Sure. It was, so there is an incredible group in Bergen County, and I think they're all over the country, but it's Fit for Mom. And the Fit for Mom Bergen group does a luau every year at the end of the summer, where again, they teach a big workout class, and then there's vendors that come from everywhere and kind of showcase what they have, and they sell, products and whatever it is. And that's what we did. I got in touch with the owner, who I knew because I was going to classes and joining their runs every weekend. And I was like, hey, can we get a table? Like we had nothing. I didn't have a website. I didn't have a social media. I had nothing. She didn't know that. I guess she will now, but we had nothing. And right. I just backed it in, right? Like put the goal out there and then back yourself into the corner. Like it put the fire under me to say like, I have to have X, Y, and Z done by the luau. And I did. And it worked. And I had everything like professional. We had really funny t-shirts made and like everything and anything. We had the setup. We got everything that we needed for that day, and the website, the digital, everything was set up so that we were ready. And that really was the catalyst and the first time. And then everything kind of spiraled after that. And there are times where it's super slow, but I kind of just say like, it'll come. It keeps coming and we keep fixing and changing and updating, and it works.
And sometimes those slower seasons are good for us because it helps us kind of sit back and say, okay, like what can we do now next? Or how could we, make it pivot, maybe make it better, do, what can we do next? So, and sometimes we need that slower time for something else that we might not even be aware of at the moment. Like, maybe it's more family time that's needed or something.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You said you wrote a book.
Yeah, my children's book about my crazy dog that's sitting next to me.
So wait, what's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Millie, and the book and the series is Silly Millie and Her Whimsical Ways. And it's really all about her and our family and how it's true stories about the craziness that she gets herself into. Our second book in the series is about the time that she ate wasabi from like takeout sushi and projectile vomited all over me during a work call.
Oh my God.
So this dog she's the funniest dog you've ever met in your life. She's afraid of wind, but she's also like, she'll chase the groundhogs in the backyard. She ate raw chicken out of our sink one night. And my husband was like, didn't you defrost dinner? And I was like, yeah, it's in the sink. And he's like, no, it's not. 2 pounds of raw chicken. Like, she's wild, but hilarious.
What kind of dog is she?
So she's a lab and a beagle. Again, she's super weird. Like, she doesn't bark, she howls. She just is like, she's a real character. And the illustrator that I worked with, like, she captured her like silliness in the pictures, and it was just the most fun to do. And like, again, yeah, it was great. And I would write the stories when I was like up all night giving my son a bottle. I would just like rock and like write them on my phone. It was the next morning I'd wake up and be like, did that really happen? You're like half asleep. But then, yeah, I just started like editing them and writing them, and I self-published everything because I was at that point where I was reaching out to agents and publishers, and like those go nowhere. And like, it's really like a pay for play, and being out of work, how was I going to pay for play for anything?
Right.
So I self-published with a local printer that's like just down the street from my house, created an Etsy account and started selling there. But yeah, I mean, I have a reading coming up in Hoboken, which will be fun. And I just love doing it. And like my daughter could not handle it when she saw the printed version. She was like, this is Millie. I'm like, yeah, it is.
I love that. And that's so special. And that's something that you're going to always have.
Yeah. Definitely.
I love that so much. How was that? Like, how was it writing?
Oh, hold on. She's barking. I don't know if you can hear her.
She's howling.
Yeah, she's howling because the mailman's
She
here.
knew. She's like, you guys are talking about me, so I would like to make my appearance now.
Yeah, she like sits in front of our heating vent and just like directly in front of it the entire day. She hates the cold. She hates the rain. But like to the point where like her skin is completely dried out. Like she doesn't. Very strange. Loves a weighted blanket. It's got anxiety. Like she's all of us.
Aw. I love that. Like I said, it's such a special, I think that's so special because it's something that you're going to be able to carry on. Your kids can carry on and have. But yeah, like was that like how did you ever see yourself writing a book? Because that's an awesome that's awesome. And the fact that you self-published it, you were able to find an illustrator that literally like works perfectly with you.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, I actually always wanted to be a writer. So it's crazy. I was just looking up the teacher's name because I wanted to bring it up on here too when we were chatting. So I've always been like a journaler, a writer. I lost my dad very young, and writing was just kind of like my thing. That was I don't even know what I would say half the time. It was probably all scribbles, and I don't have any of those journals, but we had an assignment in my 10th grade English class with my favorite teacher, Miss Mackenzie. She was the best. And she encouraged us to write about something within our lives that has always hurt and nobody really knew about, and that she wouldn't, kind of make us read it in front of the class. It was really just for us, right? So I put together this like super raw poem. And maybe it became like a short story at some point, but I had never kind of put to words what I felt when I lost my dad because I was young. I was 13. He was an addict and suffered from, alcohol abuse. And it was always like a taboo topic. I feel like right now everybody kind of talks about abuse and it's so cool to be sober and it's all of these things, right? But then it was like people talked about me. Like I went to school the Monday after he passed away or whatever it was, a week later. And I know people had rumors about me and I know they spoke about it and I didn't talk about it. Maybe my one best friend like knew really why, but that was it. And so within this writing assignment that she gave to us, I threw it all on the page. And I remember my mom being like, "Are you okay? Like giving this to a stranger?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Like she's my teacher. I love working with her. She's wonderful." And she took it and she published it. She took it to like a local publishing place and she published it within our school too. And I was like, why would you do that? And she was like, I think that you have a real gift here to move the needle for people that don't want to share, are scared. And journaling's always been your thing. And I think you're a beautiful writer. And I want you to see that you can do it. And it's true. Like I have so many like short stories that I've started and, I keep joking with my husband that I'm going to create like a coffee table book just on everything that he said when we were naming our children. Like he just hated every single name, or just like a coffee table book of the most ridiculous things that happen as a parent, like your kid looking at their poop for the first time in the toilet and being horrified by it, right? Like there's all of these like just really funny moments, but also really relatable kind of emotional things that I've, gone through. And I always wanted to write. And so when we got Millie, I was like, oh, she's a real character. Pandemic dog. We got her after a super hard loss in our lives. We lost our first son when I was 9 months pregnant, and it was horrific and we didn't know how we were going to keep going. And I said to my husband, like, you work 6 days a week. I need a dog. I need to go to the park. I need to walk this dog. I need to treat this dog like she's, my baby that I just didn't come home from the hospital with. And she's been around, since I was 8 weeks pregnant when we adopted her with, I was 8 weeks pregnant with my daughter, and she's my kid's best friend. And I was like, yeah, they get it.
They do. They don't speak, but they speak to you. Like you can speak to their soul. Like if you stare at them, like you're like, I know what you're thinking. Like my dog, I don't have kids yet, but I consider him my son. I'm like, yeah, I have a son.
Yeah. And she's just like the biggest pain in the butt, but honestly, she's so good. She really is so good. Like she would get up with me every night when I was pregnant with my daughter and walk me to the bathroom because she was just like there for support. I would sneeze and still to this day, she'll come running over right to my face and be like, "Mom, you okay? You okay? You sneezed." Like she's great.
They're so loving.
Yeah.
They really are so loving.
They are. And I was like, you read so many stories with your kids and you're like, well, this was like 5 pages that I'll never get back in my life. Like these stories are like fluffy and like boring. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write it. Millie is the perfect character. We always make up stories about her and like, her past lives and what she like really sounds like in real life. And yeah. So she made it.
Much.
Yeah.
Where can people, so you said you have an Etsy shop, like where can people purchase the book?
Sure. So it is, and I'll pull it up right now real quick. I never remember. It's sillymilliebook.etsy.com.
Awesome.
And you'll see her silly face.
Too.
Thank you.
I'll get all the links and everything from you and we'll add that to the description as well. But I love that. That's such a special, like I said, I love too that your teacher, sorry to backtrack, but that your teacher was like, I see something in you. Because I feel like the more that people say that when they truly do see that in someone, you could change somebody's life by saying that. And like even seeing like, years later now you're a published writer.
Right. I emailed her a few years ago, I think when they were doing like our class reunion. And I was like, I just want to tell you what I do as a profession because of you. And I think you should share it with your students. You're an English teacher, and there are kids sitting in high school that are like, why am I reading The Crucible? I don't even know if they teach that anymore, but why am I reading The Scarlet Letter, And it wasn't that. It was the skills that she was getting across to us, right? It was like, reading and absorbing and reading and writing. And I told her, I was like, I write websites. Like I work on a marketing team where we write content day in and day out. And if I wouldn't know that that's what I enjoyed if it wasn't for her, so it's full circle. And I think, I tell my daughter all the time, like, and it's so corny. I'm like, you can literally do anything, especially now. You can. You just have to like figure out the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like finding what you love doing. I believe like if we all just listen and like, because we have to work, right? It's either you're working for somebody else or you can do what you love, and it's not easy. It's hard. Like you wore many hats, right? Do you have a team of people working with you, or is it just you right now?
No, it's just me.
Yeah. And
so me and my,
you do it all.
Yeah, I do. My best friend opened up Petal Parties with me. She's a teacher, so she is, super busy, all school year. So when she can, she comes and she helps during the events. And we have so much fun when we do them together. We did a wreath workshop for a wonderful group of women who, like, oh my God, I wanted to be their friend. I was like, can I just hang? They were so fun. But when we did the setup, she like dropped our flower cart on my head and then she fell backward. And we asked the woman, we were like, do you have a Ring camera out here? Because this footage.
Tell me she did.
No, she turned the sensors off when we started setting up because she was like, I didn't want you guys to be freaked. Yeah.
No. So note to self, everybody keep the cameras on all times. It's fine if the sensors go off. Just let it happen.
Oh my God. It was hilarious. I'm like, only us. Like we've been friends since we were 12. So like the chaos is hilarious. Yeah.
I love that. And I love that you guys do it together. But yeah, like, you're pretty much doing everything. So it's a lot, but you have fun doing it. You meet incredible people doing this, and then everything will work out. Even when it's hard times, it always does end up working out. And if you just keep pushing through, it's like that meme where one guy is like pounding through the wall and he's like right there and the diamonds are on the other side. And you see him turning and walking away, but the other guy's still going. Like that's what it's like. It's you do it all, but if you just keep doing it, something's gonna eventually.
Totally. I say that to my husband a lot, and we talk about it. His business is like contract to contract because he is in a union. He builds high-rise buildings. So he feels the same way. Like when one project stops and then you have that in-between time until the next thing, you're like sitting there like, oh my God, what is it all about? Like, what are we doing? What am I getting up for? And so we always talk about like, what's the next thing? What are our goals? What do we want? What do we eventually want the kids to have? And it's true, it's so hard, but as long as you like keep on keeping on and like, again, keep a little delusion. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
A little bit. You got to be a little crazy.
You do. And everyone who does, those are the ones who succeed because you have this faith and you're like, I know it's going to happen. And I'm glad that you also said that too, because I've been feeling that the past few months, like, just really diving in, like, why are we here? Like, we're here for a reason. We are here for a short time. So it's like, we should be doing what we love and really just like making sure, like you said, your kids are set and being brought up in a way that like works with you guys. You have your business, you're able to no pun intended, but like water that, like, what I mean, just like, make sure, like, I'm like thinking of the flowers.
It's a great pun. Yeah.
But like you're doing things that like you genuinely enjoy doing, and you're able to like like, again, like it's a lot of work, but you're able to spend time doing things you love versus maybe being behind a desk, not doing something like, and again, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 if that's what you love doing. But like for someone like you were saying, you're like, I love doing things. You wrote a book, you did that. Like you like, it seems like you're creative.
Yeah.
So being creative too, it's hard to be behind a desk. So that's why when I say like that, it's, so it's, I really truly like, I admire that about you, that you just, you took what, you had, and you didn't say like, oh great, now I lost my job. What am I going to do? Like you just got yourself back and you went for it and you started something that you like to do. And here we are. If you could tell yourself something right now from when you first started, what would you tell yourself?
I think I would tell myself, like, you're going to meet the most incredible people on this journey that are going to perpetuate your journey, right? And don't feel discouraged when somebody says no or people ghost you, because that happens, right? And I think every business and every small business feels that. You put together a proposal, you put together ideas or whatever it is, and then you never hear from people again, and it's not you. It's not. And I think that's probably, yeah, what I would say.
I love that. And I think that's a great message too, because it's not you. And a lot of people do struggle with that when, you have, like you said, you send out the proposals and you don't get an answer. It's not you. And you know what? I truly believe that that is meant to happen because maybe it wouldn't have been a good person to work with. And it left space open for you now to either have another client that it was going to be like the best client for you or give you space to do something, whether it's for you, your family, something else. Right. So everything happens. And I love that you said it's not you.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to think about. Like, it's not, it's not personal. I think like I overthink to a point of like, I can make myself sick about it. And I also have to remind myself like the other person's not thinking like that at all. Like they're
right.
I say fart in the breeze a lot. Like they're just a fart in the breeze. Like they just keep it moving, but you're over here like sick about it. Like
it's
don't
true.
be. Yeah.
I'm listening to the Let Them. Have you heard
of
Yes.
I love Mel Robbins.
Yeah, and she talks about, and like a lot of this is just like she talks about that. She's just like, just let them. And half the time, like the other day I was walking my dog, he decided, and he's about 15 pounds. Mm-hmm. He decided he doesn't want to keep walking. So I'm like, no, but we need to get our steps in, my guy. Like we got to keep going. Like I want you around forever.
Yeah.
So I had to pick him up and hold him for a little bit. And I'm like walking down the street. I'm like, yo, people are probably like, oh, look at this dog. Like what a brat. And I'm like, no one's thinking that. No one even no one cares what I'm doing. Like, it's just in our head. Like, sometimes we can. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, but if they are, let them. Who cares?
Right. Yeah.
And it makes such a difference.
Right. Because they're doing really weird things too. Like, really weird.
It's true. We all have our ways, right? And we just and it's like, we just be ourselves. Yeah. Just be you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a lesson that I try and like teach my daughter, and I try like, especially for girls, like girls are hard. My son is like a comedian, right? Like he sticks stickers to his face and walks around and has his hand in his butt all day. I call him Al Bundy. Like it's just like I let them be the kids, right? Like my daughter's constantly like she wants to dress herself now, right? She wants to pack her own bag. She wants nail polish. She wants this. She wants that. And it's just like, all right, cool. You're not hurting anybody. Like, you're fine. Like, let's just have some fun. Like and my mom used to always say, like, just have fun. Like, if you're having fun, that's all that's important. And again, another like corny saying, but like, as you get older and you go through so much crap, you're like, I just can't not have fun anymore. I'm just going to.
It's so true. It is so true. I love that.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in like the next year? Like what are some goals that you would like to do, or some things with the business? Like and it could be personal business. Where in the next year do you see, or at least the next up until December 2025, let's say that.
Sure. I got some like incredible news from a friend this morning who's got a really big business adventure in the works too. I want to like make sure that I have the space and have the time and the partnership capability to like do bigger partnerships and strategic approaches like that, and working with her. And I want the business to like pivot and just do workshops really. And to have a space where we do it regularly would be incredible, or offer like a regular class, like a regular schedule, I think would be really nice. But I also want to get my next Millie book like off the ground, because paying for an illustrator is costly, and I wanted to print the first one to pay for the illustrator for the second one. So I'd love to get that kind of rocking and rolling in the next. I don't know, maybe Barnes & Noble, I'll shout you out, pick me up. Yeah.
We get you in Barnes & Noble for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love that too, that you're looking to like keep with the workshops. I think that's that's an amazing idea, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I even want to we'll definitely connect after this too, because I would love to talk to you about even doing a workshop together with the committee, with the GNO, because we're actually coming to Bergen County. We're going to be having a chapter up there, so maybe we could do something together. I think that would be fun. I love what you do. So
thank you.
I ask all my guests at the end of the episode, if today was your last day and you were only able to, no books were left behind, like no podcasts, nothing was left behind. It was just only 3 things that you could leave behind, whether it's to your daughter, the world, anyone. What would these 3 things be? It could be advice, it could be quotes, it could be an experience. Just what would 3 things that you would want to pass down and or be remembered by?
Right. That's a good one. I would say like to both my kids, And it's something that got me through my pregnancies with both of them because I had such horrible trauma. Everything you'll ever love is on the other side of fear. And I feel like Will Smith said it. He might not have been like the first person to say it. I can't remember.
You're talking about that YouTube video with him jumping out of the plane, right?
Yeah, that must be it. And he's afraid of sharks. He also said it when he was on Nat Geo on Shark Week because I love Shark Week.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, do you go to the Jersey Shore? Do you go to the oceans?
Of course I do. Yeah.
You're like, I'm good.
I'm in it. I'm delusional. They're not there. They're not there.
They're not. And when you say they're not, right?
No, they're not. They're not. It's funny. Long Beach Island, I follow their like Facebook page for whenever we go down there in the summer, and they just had a giant shark on shore. I don't know if you saw that on the news.
I didn't.
Yeah, like I think it was last week. They're just
no
like
way.
on the like in the waiting water where like my kids like literally run. Totally, they're not supposed to be there. Delusional. Nice.
They're just living their lives too. They're like, we're just gonna come visit.
Yeah. No, I try not to think about it. But yeah, I guess it's.
I love that dude.
Yeah,
I love that quote. That's such a great quote. And I know when you said that about Will Smith, I'm like, wait, I did watch that video where he jumped out the plane, and every time I see that, I'm like, time to go skydiving.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. See, I would go skydiving over bungee jumping because I don't like the cord thing like that. I don't like that. I don't like the snap.
Because you don't know if, I get what,
I would do that. But yeah, I mean, I was saying it and I felt like I was doing that anxiety thing, like looping when I was pregnant, where I would like just keep saying it to myself, keep saying until you believe it, keep saying until you believe it, and get through these 9 months, right? And both my kids after we lost our son came into this world like fast and furious. They knew like mom needed them here. They were both 4 weeks early, super healthy, but like I just kept saying it until I believed it enough, right? Like this cannot happen again. Everything you'll ever love is on the other side of fear. And I tell all of my girlfriends that who, we're in the same boat, are in the same boat. I belong to a foundation that supports women of loss and, subsequent pregnancies after loss, and trying to convince yourself that it's going to be okay is horrific, and trying to listen to the doctors that it's going to be okay it's impossible. So yeah, I would say like if I could leave that to anyone or anything, like just try to believe that everything you will love will come with a fight and hardship, but it will be there and you will. Like I would do anything for my children. They are the light of my life and they're the best. They're the best, and they have big hearts. Yeah.
For sharing that, because I know it's not easy. My friend is currently going through it. She had a miscarriage, and it's like I would love to connect her with you in the group foundation.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and it's hard. And talking about it, sometimes people, they don't feel comfortable, and other people don't know what to say, and then you don't know where to go. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's something, again, like women's health, women's education, women's health education is hard to find in this country. And, it's sad, right? It's not something that you thought would ever happen to you. And then you hear this story and that story, but nobody's talking about it. And why aren't we talking about it? I didn't do anything wrong, It's something that just happened. And a miscarriage, unfortunately, just happens. And nobody wants to talk about it. Like, why are we not having, like, open forums and more education and speaking to healthcare professionals about how you speak to your patients afterwards? And it's just, it's like, like I said before with like substance abuse, it's now there's this huge shift to not having this like taboo and like shame around it. It's an addiction. It's a real health issue. So like, let's kind of move the needle and make sure that like women are educated. They know everything and anything. And yeah, it's a struggle, but I think talking about my loss and helping people through it is also how we honor our son. And I want to like hold and hug every woman that I meet to like be like, it's okay. But yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. You though, the world needs you. And like, that's another, having you speak about it, it makes a difference. And
totally.
It takes one person.
Yeah.
To have a huge impact. So truly, thank you. Because it's not, it's not easy to talk about. So that was the amazing first one. You got 2 more things to leave behind.
Oh my God, more? Okay. What else am I leaving behind? So interesting. I don't even know. I'm like looking around my house. There's nothing.
I'm like, hey, you can leave your book behind.
Yeah, let's leave. I mean, I would leave Millie behind. Like, let's like cryogenically freeze her, clone her,
Let
make her
her.
another one. You know?
Ever so everyone could truly understand.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She's hilarious. I would leave. Yeah, I'd leave my book behind for sure. I'm trying to think what else. I would probably leave like I mean, it's on a desktop now, but if I printed it, a physical copy of kind of the short stories that I've put together since, for years I've been working on it. And I would love, again, to get that like into something someday. I don't know what I'd make it into, but that would be something that I would leave behind.
It's gonna come to you. Whatever it's meant to be,
Yeah.
it's gonna come to you and it's gonna be out in the world sooner than
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll wake me up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, this is it. It's it.
That's where it's supposed to go. This is how it's supposed to go. Don't you love that? Those middle of the nights.
Yeah.
But at least you listen to it. Like you get up and you do it. Like you don't just
Yeah.
good to know, back to sleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it's like a wasted potential. You're like, that was your sign. We needed that.
No. Yeah, totally. I used to tell my old boss, this was a few positions ago, that my best ideas would come in the shower. And she got me a waterproof notepad and it sticks to the wall.
I love it. I need one.
So good. It's you're so focused that your
Yeah.
best ideas, seriously, like I love writing in the shower.
I'm gonna have to get one because in the shower, always my best thought, and I'm like, okay, I gotta grab my phone. Let me wipe my hands off real quick.
Right.
Let me try to get my phone so I don't make everything wet. And then I'm like sitting
Yeah.
there and I'm just like panicking, but I'm gonna definitely answer because yeah, shower ideas, they're the best.
Yeah.
But they
No,
can come
totally.
and go just as quick, just
Yeah,
as quickly
yeah.
as they came in. So you gotta write it down.
Definitely. Definitely.
Brittany, it's been such a pleasure having you on today. I mean, 45 minutes flew by. I definitely want to
Yeah.
have you on again, whether it's like this or if you can make it out to the studio, would love to have you
Yeah.
here. Maybe it's when you're in LBI, we can have you come by here. But
Yeah.
can you share with everybody where they can connect with you, how they can
Yeah.
find you, and all that good stuff?
Sure. So on Instagram, we're Petal Parties NJ. That's simple. And Silly Millie Books is also on Instagram as well, making sure I got that right. Yeah, Silly Millie Books. And just because Millie is special, there's no E. She's just Milli.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's where you can find us.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
again so much. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's episode. And I can't wait to talk to you again next week on Real Talk in My Rooms.